Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the Soul of Excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
There has no doubt been selective outrage by the liberal biased media in picking and choosing victims and highlighting their stories. And as I've said, President Trump does not want any Americans to lose their lives in the streets of America and in American communities across the country. He believes what happened on Saturday is a tragedy, but every life is equal to President Trump, and that's why the lives of Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nungray continue to matter to him and be an utmost priority to him to this very day. And it's unfortunate that we did not see the same type of sensationalist media coverage over the tragic deaths of those innocent American women and girls across the country as we are in the wake of this tragedy that took place on Saturday. In Minnesota. Number one, Governor Walz, Mayor Frey, and all Democrat leaders should turn over all criminal illegal aliens currently incarcerated in their prisons and jails to federal authorities, along with any illegal aliens with active warrants or known criminal histories for immediate deportation. Number two, state and local law enforcement must agree to turn over all illegal aliens who are arrested by local police. And then thirdly, local police must assist federal law enforcement in apprehending and detaining illegal aliens who are wanted for crimes, especially violent crimes. If Governor Walz and Mayor Frey implement these common sense cooperative measures that I will add have already been implemented in nearly every single other state across the country, Customs and Border Patrol will not be needed to support ICE on the ground in Minnesota. ICE and local law enforcement can peacefully work together, as they are effectively doing in so many other states and jurisdictions. Additionally, President Trump is calling on the United States Congress to immediately pass legislation ending sanctuary cities once and for all. American cities should be safe sanctuaries for law-abiding citizens only, not for dangerous illegal alien criminals who broke our nation's laws and do not belong here. We hope Governor Walz will do the right thing and continue to work with President Trump to keep the American people safe following their call this morning.
Welcome, my friends, to the Monday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. I am James Golden, Bo Snerdley, and you heard Caroline Levitt from White House Presser today. We have another one from Caroline that we want you to hear as the program goes on. It is a heavy, heavy day. Over the weekend, when news broke of this latest shooting, I tell you the truth, my honest reaction was just pure, unmitigated depression. It's like, oh no, not again. And following what you heard, all this selective outrage, and there is a lot of it. I mean, this. First of all, what do you think about the shooting? What do you do? I don't know, folks. I'll be totally frank with you. When Renee Good tragically lost her life, I looked at the first video, looked at it and said, I don't understand it. But then I saw the other videos and said, well, I do understand what happened here. when I watched that agent nearly run over by her car and all of it. This one, I saw, the video doesn't tell me anything. New York Times was very quick, other news sources. He didn't have a gun in his hand. He had a cell phone in his hand and blah, blah, blah. They have, from almost the moment this happened, tried to paint this as everything that the federal government, by way of the agencies that are represented there, whether it's ICE, Border Patrol, or the Department of Justice, they're all liars. That's the way it's been treated in the mainstream press. And of course, one thing that we know about the mainstream press is that they're not credible for truthful information. They have a bias, and their bias in the way that they've been covering illegal immigration has pretty much been one-sided. They are for illegal immigration. They're against ICE. They hate Trump. We know that. All of that said doesn't answer the question of what actually happened on the ground. And I don't know. I don't know. We do know this. He had a gun. We also know this. According to all the news information that we've got on, he had a permit for the gun. It's a concealed carry state, so he has a legal right to have a gun and 2 magazines of ammo. But we also know, thanks to some work, that he was perhaps a member of one of these far-left networks that are mysteriously funded, that are really highly sophisticated. Fox Digital, among others, has done an investigation on it, and these networks are designed to pretty much, whether they may say protest, and maybe there's a legal distinction between protesting and not, but they're designed to interfere with ICE. That's what they're designed to do. And if possible, to dox ICE agents. And there are a number of these agencies, these agents, I should say, of organizations that are operating. Some of them have been linked to socialist groups, Marxist groups, communist cells in the United States of America. And it appears that this person, Mr. Pettit, that was shot, may have been involved in one of them. His parents are outraged. They're calling on the media to please get the truth out about him. They said he was clearly not holding a gun when he was attacked by President Donald Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. They blasted the Trump administration for telling sickening lies about him. Now, in the aftermath of the shooting, the words terrorists were used, domestic terrorists, and also, I believe Stephen Miller referred to him as an assassin. Those are some of the remarks that the parents are objecting to. ICU nurse, supposedly very caring person. His parents in their statement said the last thing he was trying to do was help a woman. No, that's not accurate. The last thing he was trying to do was interfere with an ICE operation. A woman apparently disrupting it was being pepper sprayed, at least from what I gather from reading the news, and he tried to interrupt that process, and that's when whatever took place. The agent said they tried to disarm him. I don't know when in the context of this timeline, and I don't think anybody knows for certain yet. So apparently they knew somehow he was armed. How did they know he was armed? I don't know yet. There's so many unanswered questions here about it. But what we do know is that this is part of a well-organized, paid-for effort to disrupt ICE operations for political gain. We know that. And if it is to obstruct law enforcement, DOJ says they're investigating it, and I hope that's the case. But I think we need more than investigations. I think it's time to hold some of these networks to account legally. And if their whole purpose is to disrupt ICE operations, legal law enforcement operations, it is time to arrest them and charge them with that, if it can be proven that that's what they're doing. It is tragic. Any number of, I'm in a few long posts on social media. This is, depressed. Because no one that I know, and that I've talked to, I mean, you see comments on social media, even from people on quote unquote the right, saying, oh, well, this person got what they deserve. That is not something that I think the majority of people that I know, talk to, even want to go in that direction. I want to see people killed. Didn't want to see this Renee Good lose her life. Certainly didn't want to see this man lose his life. And I don't know what kind of man he was. People that enter the profession that he's in, he worked in ICU. He obviously, whatever we might think about his actions on that day, obviously that's not the sum total of who he is or was. And I think that it is totally depressing that we find ourselves where we find ourselves. And I believe that unless we combat the reasons why, we're not going to get out of this fairly soon. I don't think the federal government can. I don't think the Trump administration can back down, and they better not back down, because you cannot give these rogue Democrat leaders and their rogue allies in the press and their rogue activists a victory by pulling up and leaving out of there. These agents, these law enforcement, are there to do a job, and they need to see this job through, period. What if this was a bad, as they call it, a bad shooting? I don't think good shootings, that's a term I've always had trouble with, but what if this turns out to be what happens then? Certainly there should be held to account. What happens if the reactions are total 100% justified, as an investigation would find out, that the officers did have reason to fear for their lives before they opened fire on him? What then? Do you think that with all of this piling on from the mainstream press, from Democrats, you think that's going to satisfy anybody? You have governors like Pritzker basically saying that whatever comes out of the mouths of the Trump administration are lies. You have others. You have Democrats right now demanding that they pull the funding for Homeland Security in the Senate this week. And folks, this is a real possibility. There's a possibility that within the next week, we might be in another government shutdown over this. And if that is the case, that we are in a government shutdown because of Democrats want to defend illegal immigration one more time, illegal aliens, then you've never heard me say abolish the filibuster, because I happen to think that the filibuster is a useful tool, and I think long range. I think when Republicans are going to be in the minority again in the Senate, and sooner or later it's going to happen, whether it's this cycle, whether it's 28, whether it's 30, whatever. And the filibuster is a useful tool. However, I'm at the point now, if Democrats want to shut the government down one more time over illegal immigration, then it's time to yank that power from them and just kill the filibuster and just go on straight party line votes in the Senate. Screw it. Done. Because this is absurd. You also heard Caroline Leavitt call for congressional action with sanctuary cities. That is long overdue. We got to take a quick break. We have so much more. James Golden, Snerdley with you. Fastest hour in American media continues.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Safe Haven is here to get people who are being picked up like that person.
Yes.
So the people that are injured really badly, or maybe other people too, we don't know how many people, are being taken out into the woods around the Whipple and released in the middle of the night, sometimes with no clothes, always with no phone, if they're brown, with no ID. And it's a death sentence. One of the people had a cracked skull that's been treated. So they're taking the people that they don't want us to know about and they're dropping them in the woods, which I've heard is something that they've been doing with Native Americans for a long time, and we're just continuing that tradition. But that is sickening me right now.
My friends, that's just one of the rumors going around out there from the crazy left. There was a person on CNN saying, and even the CNN person was surprised, that the ICE agents are putting people in ovens. In ovens. I mean, the rhetoric is just insanity. Now, Princess Di and I have a little dialogue going on right now. She says the odds of the Senate Republicans getting rid of the filibuster is 0, and I asked her if that means that she thinks that the Republican Senate would cave on DHS funding. The OBB already funded ICE. I know, but it's in part of the appropriations bill that's coming up. And she just texted me back that last week Donald Trump predicted another ICE shutdown, and he's usually right about these things. I'm glad to hear it. In North Carolina, where one of our friends, all is well. I've been checking in with people all over the country, my friends. This storm, and I didn't make light of this storm. I didn't say, oh, this is just another one of these big weather hypes. I hoped that it wouldn't be as bad as it was predicted to be. But 25 people so far have lost their lives. And some of it is from things that are snow related, but not necessarily related. Okay, for instance, 2 people lost their lives sledding or doing something, fatal sledding accidents. One in Arkansas, in Texas. 2 people have been run over by snowplows. And one in Massachusetts, one in Ohio. Mondami, the new mayor of New York City, was all over this weekend blasting ICE and just declaring how he's going to stand up for illegal immigrants. Oh, yeah, we're going to double down, triple down. We're not going to cooperate. And in New York City, under the Mayor Mondami, 8 people have died in this incident, this weather incident, frozen on the streets of New York. While he's busy sticking his nose and yapping about everything that's going around the country, in places where he has no power, no jurisdiction, and he's running his yap, 8 human beings have died on the streets of New York from exposure being left outside. That's your Mayor Mondami. And by the way, he still hasn't announced when all the free stuff is going to be delivered that he promised.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
If there's an investigation going on and you have not concluded, isn't it possible this was a bad shooting? Or have you already concluded for yourself that this was justified?
I've not concluded anything. I've not given you a conclusion. But what I do know,
it's a bad shooting.
What I do know is this individual was on that scene several minutes before that shooting, interfering with a lawful, legal, ethical law enforcement operation to arrest Jose Huerta Chuma. And again, it's back to choices. We just talked about choices. when someone makes the choice to come into an active law enforcement scene, interfere, obstruct, delay, or assault law enforcement officers, and they bring a weapon to do that, that is a choice that individual made.
That was the commander of Border Patrol, Greg Bavino. We have some other audio for you to listen to and some other things. I was texting also with Princess Di. Oh, this is just then. She just sent me something that Greg Bavino has been reassigned out of Minnesota. Don't know what's going on there, but we just heard from him, and she just sent me a text right now. It broke on Mediaite that Chris has been controversial Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino has been reassigned out of Minneapolis, as Mr. Newsom calls it. Minneapolis. So we have that. I had another bite from him actually in the lineup. We may as well hear it. We played. Did we just play 5 or 6? Sorry, let's do the next one. 6. We have him again on this one.
Because multiple angles of this incident show him holding up a cell phone and recording it, not a gun. Did he at any point pull out his weapon?
Dana, good morning, and thanks for having me. The weapon, and we do know that the suspect did bring a weapon, a loaded 9mm high-capacity handgun, to a riot. We do know that. As far as what happened in that intervening moment with the video that you just showed, that's going to come to light through the investigation. That's being investigated, and those facts and those questions will be answered soon enough.
Well, apparently also it was captured on body cam, so we are going to find out a lot of answers to it. We will find out a lot of answers in the coming day. And when I say I have doubts about it, the only thing I'm saying is I haven't seen the kind of definitive video. And if you hear the commander saying, I'm not sure, or we don't, he's not answering the question directly. So that's the only reason that I'm holding my comments in reserve. I want to just say this one more time. I think it's foolish. I think it is foolish for anybody to go show up and try to interfere with law enforcement operations. It's foolish. You know, I think of when I've been stopped. I've been driving while black. And one of my friends, we grew up, and teenager, can you imagine this? He was 19 years old. He got a brand new Dodge Challenger. It was a Charger. I mean, this was muscle car. Beautiful yellow, too. It was yellow, and it was just, it had the white, the red kind of flame. It was a beautiful ride. So he took it out. He's, James, come on, let's go. We went out to Valley Stream, New York. And we got pulled over driving while black. Because there was we doing the speed limit, doing everything else. But we were cool. We didn't go off. We didn't go nuts, because back then you understood. Okay, police officer pulls you over, even if it's unjustified. You cooperate. Now, later on, his mom went back over to the police department and actually pressed the issue of why we were stopped. And there was some satisfaction that came from that. I don't remember the full story, but it wasn't like it was but we cooperated. I would never in my life, and most of you in this vast and ever-growing listening audience would never think of interfering, showing up, putting yourself between law enforcement and somebody else. Somehow, these particular leftists feel that is their privilege, that they can put themselves in harm's way and expect nothing will happen to them. I am never going to celebrate anybody's death. I think it's horrible. But I'm also not going to celebrate situations where law enforcement could get killed and hurt. And these people you hear it all the time, they have a split second to react. They can't make a mistake. They won't come home at night. Their lives are important too. And so you have agents. We had agents with their fingers. I understand there's more than one agent. I saw the one where his finger was bitten off by one of these rabid protesters over the weekend. Yeah. I mean, this is sick. And Democrats have been fomenting this into a full-scale revolution. There's an Antifa guy that's right now calling for boots on the ground. You see them everywhere. We have them everywhere. I didn't even put the Antifa guy in the lineup today. Cut 19. Just hit 19.
Violence against the state. The answer is violence against the state. Violence has always been the answer. The only people telling you violence isn't the answer are the ones that have used organized, controlled power and violence to run the planet. And then pull the ladder up after them and say, no, violence isn't for you, you savage. They're executing people in the street over and over.
No, they're not.
If you are not loudly advocating for the death and imprisonment of almost everyone in this administration and everyone that has participated in these ICE operations, then you're a collaborator. You're not loudly from the rooftops arming yourselves. Get militant. Get together with your local neighborhoods and arm yourselves. If you are not on board with violence and death to the state, then shut the up or you're a collaborator.
Crossfade number 20. You have the gist of this guy.
Or shut the up because you will be a collaborator and we will...
See, I've been fully activated. I'm going to head back east. We need to go to D.C. Needs to get done. Here's the thing that I need for protesters and everyone to start realizing, okay? We're at war. The protests are over. There's no more protesting. This is combat now. So when I come onto the field, I'm not screaming at people that are going to assault me or pepper spray me. Like, no, this is combat. I'm going to engage them in combat because we have that needs to be done.
Okay. All that, the language issues were supposed to be taken care of before we played them. So you've got that going on. By the way, in the meantime, I just discovered something else. This might come as a surprise to some. Do you know in Washington State, by the way, this has not been reported. In Washington State, he is being called an Islamist terrorist, but a man, and I don't know whether he is an Islamist terrorist or not, but a man on the street in liberal Washington State asked somebody just passing out of a convenience store, hey, what religion are you? What religion are you? Cut 1. Take the story from there. This is what happened.
The stabbing happened at the SS Quick Stop grocery store. Pierce County deputies say the victim told officers that the suspect asked what religion he was, and when he said he was a Christian, the suspect reportedly stabbed him and his dog. Both were taken to hospitals in serious condition, and deputies say the dog went into emergency surgery. Deputies were searching for the suspect then for more than 2 hours after he ran from the stabbing scene. He was spotted by deputies around 8:40 a.m. who made contact with the suspect in a house's backyard. Armed with multiple knives, officers say the suspect was resisting arrest and made movements toward deputies. He was then shot by multiple deputies. Police say he was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Now the Pierce County Force investigation team is handling the scene.
To collect evidence, and then they'll do interviews.
Yeah, what religion are you?
If there's any
you got it, folks. We'll believe that. I want to get this in before we go. So much more about this shooting, but time is so short, as always, on this fastest hour in American media. Have you ever visited the state capitol out in Minnesota? If you do, ladies and gentlemen, Princess Diana, America's small caffeinated mom, Rhonda Schrock, Lady Benedict, and of course the Countess of Conspiracy. If you ever, all of you, four in particular, if you do, if you do, Lady Benedict, if you all head out to visit Minnesota State Capitol, be sure not to miss one of the highlights in the Capitol itself. Cut 15. This is State Representative Pam Altendorf explaining what the highlight is that you would want to see in the state capitol.
This is Representative Pam Altendorf coming live at you from the Minnesota State Capitol. I am on the ground floor, and as I was leaving my committee meeting today here earlier, I noticed that there is a new display here at the state capitol, and it's for Governor Walz. It's right here on display. So let me see. I mean, I guess I can't flip my phone, but I'll see if I can show it to you. So this is what we have here, everyone. Let me read it to you. The Democratic Coalition of Satan Worshipers thanks Governor Tim Walz for not standing in the way of spreading Satanism in the state capitol building. Satan has a special place for you. That's right, everyone. So the Democratic Coalition of Satan Worshipers, they have given some sort of plaque here to Governor Tim Walz. So let me be the first, I guess, to congratulate Governor Tim Walz for this very special award that has come from the Satan Worshipers here in the Minnesota State Capitol. Yes, everyone, this is true. I am live, not making this up. You can't make this up. I don't know what else to say. I would think if you're Governor Tim Walz, you could choose not to have up this plaque. I don't know why a governor of a state
Let's just recap. Be sure to look for this when you're there. It is proudly displayed in the middle of the hallway. It's got like a special place of pride. The plaque from the Satanist, the Democrat Satanist in Minnesota, honoring Governor Tim Walz for not spreading the spread of, not trying to halt at all the spread of Satanism and Satan worship, and it's in the state capitol building. Thank you, Governor Walz, for allowing the spread of Satanism in your state. Thank you, Governor Walz. Just thought you'd like to know, something to put on your holiday menu for all of that. Okay, we have an AWB in here too. We've got plenty of politicians. We got Pritzker. Oh, Scott Besson has been on a roll. We've got the others. We got more on this Resistance Network. Basketball star Stephen Curry. What's his name? I'm sorry. Stephen Stephen. Just say Step. Thank you, TJ. What? Steph? Steph. Sorry, I didn't get it right. I don't watch basketball. That was 20 years ago. Thug ball was. Oh, by the way, who's going to the Super Bowl? Anybody know? Patriots. Oh, the Seattle Seahawks. Who got cheated? Nobody got cheated?
The Broncos.
The Patriots were playing. Well,
the Broncos.
The Broncos got cheated. Who was playing them?
The Patriots were playing them.
The Patriots. So, I spoke too soon. Okay. Patriots were playing and somebody got cheated. Interesting. Okay. Anyway. What did you say to call this guy, this basketball guy? Steph. Steph Curry has a 2-minute rambling thing about ICE in Minnesota. I guess they played in Minnesota last night, and it was pretty pathetic. They blew out the Minnesota team, and even the coach was saying, well, you could tell how bad Minnesota they all feel, and it was terrible. The crowd was just blah, blah, blah. But I don't have time to play this rambling thing from Steph Curry. And then we have actress Natalie Portman, is that her name? Portman. Yeah, wasn't she in the Star Wars thing? Padme. She was Padme. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So Padme's out saying ICE operation. She's calling it the worst in human history. Look, she's a Hollywood actress. You can't expect her to actually know much about history. Let's see. So we'll have to do Portman and Steph. later in the week if we matter. But I wanted to get to the ABW because we don't see too many of these on this whole thing. Cut number, we got to go. I talked myself out of it. We'll have to do the ABW tomorrow because she rants for a while. ABW's Angry Black Women. Oh, we're getting reaction from the demon, from the Satan worshipers honoring Tim Walz, and the plaque is hanging in the state capitol. The state capitol of Minnesota. Thank you, Governor Walz, for allowing the spread of Satanism in your state. From the Democrat Satanist. And they actually put the plaque up right in the state capitol building. They're not hiding who they are anymore, folks. James Golden, Snerdley coming back.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush.
Now, here's James Golden.
One of the things I love about this woman's story is that she was told she would never make it. She was told she didn't have what it takes. She was to forget about a career in this music thing. She didn't forget. She pressed on. And her birthday is today, Anita Baker. So many beautiful, beautiful songs by Anita Baker, who kept trying and made it. Happy birthday, Anita. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, my friends. We'll be back tomorrow. And until then, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.